It's a historic moment for inflation because it's got up to the highest level that we've seen since the 1980s. Have a look at that. 11.1%, higher than economists had expected, highest since 1981. And consider the history here. Look, back in the 1970s, there was this period of stagflation, so stagnant economy, high inflation, toxic combination. Then we had the period over the last few decades, low inflation. And the concern is, are we heading back now to that kind of an era all over again? We don't know in the UK, but that is the big question here and elsewhere too. Now, there is a big divergence in experience of inflation. Look, this is breaking it down from lowest to highest income groups, and probably you can see the pattern. Higher inflation for low-income groups, lower inflation for high-income groups. So there's a distributional question here about rich and poor when it comes to inflation. And there's also a big question about where inflation is highest in terms of the different items. Have a look at this. This is showing you different sectors. Clothing up by 9%, food and veg up by 15–16%. That's meat and fish as well. Hotel inflation, so it's not just food, it's not just goods, up by 18%, having real trouble getting workers there. Eggs and butter, you can see it's mounting 22–30%. Margarine, if you don't want butter, I'm afraid that's up even more, 42%. Milk, up by 48%. But have a look at this. Above all else, obviously gas prices. This was the month that gas prices kicked in. And actually, it's broken our access there. It's gone up to 128%. But it's not all one way. Look, cars, second-hand cars, they were rising very fast not long ago, weren't they? Now down by 3% year on year. So that's the big story for inflation. Of course, there's something else going on, which is the autumn statement. And we're going to hear more from the Chancellor about whether he's going to be putting stimulus into the economy or contraction. And, you know, we all know which way it's heading, basically. That, of course, with the pandemic. Look, the furlough scheme, lots of money going out, then money coming back in. But have a look at what's expected in the next few years. Year after year of contraction, pulling money back out of the economy, austerity, whatever you want to call it, spending cuts, tax rises. And a lot of people would ask whether that's the right thing to be doing, given the economy is in recession, given you've got high interest rates and, of course, inflation at near record levels.